Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into a crucial topic that deserves our attention, the lesser known symptoms of depression. When we think about depression, feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and a lack of interest in things we used to enjoy often come to mind. And while these are some of the hallmarks of depression, it's a complex condition that can manifest in a surprising number of ways. Some of these signs are less obvious and can easily fly under the radar, making early detection a challenge. That's why it's so important to understand the full spectrum of depression symptoms, both the well-known and the lesser known. So stick around as we shed light on these hidden signs and empower you with the knowledge to prioritize your mental well-being. Depression doesn't just affect your mood, it can also manifest physically. Mind and body are deeply interconnected, and depression can create real physical symptoms. Chronic pain that doesn't go away, persistent headaches, nagging back pain, or achy joints. Even digestive issues can be linked to depression. These symptoms can overshadow the mental health condition. People often go from doctor to doctor seeking relief. The root cause, depression, needs to be addressed. Once treated, these physical symptoms often improve or disappear. If struggling with chronic pain, consider depression and seek help. Depression can really mess with your brain power, making it hard to think straight and feel like yourself. You know that feeling when your mind feels cloudy, like you're trying to think through a dense fog? That's what we call brain fog, and it's a common symptom of depression that often gets overlooked. It's like your brain is stuck in slow motion. You might find yourself struggling to focus on tasks, whether it's reading a book, following a conversation, or simply getting through your to-do list. Remembering details, both big and small, can become a real challenge. And making decisions, even simple ones, can feel overwhelming and exhausting. You might second guess yourself constantly or feel paralyzed by indecision. What's frustrating is that these cognitive symptoms can be subtle and gradual, making them easy to brush off as just stress or normal aging. But don't ignore them. Recognizing these cognitive changes is key to getting the right help and support. Depression doesn't just play tricks on your mind, it can also wreak havoc on your appetite. Our emotions and eating habits are more intertwined than we realize. Depression might manifest as a loss of appetite, making food lose its appeal. Eating can feel like a chore, leading to unintended weight loss. Others might turn to food for comfort, seeking temporary pleasure. This can result in overeating and weight gain. Depression affects the brain's reward system, making it harder to enjoy things, including food. When depression fuels your anger, while sadness might be the most recognized phase of depression, it's not the only emotion it wears. Believe it or not, depression can also fuel feelings of irritability and anger, especially in men. This often hidden symptom can catch people off guard because it doesn't fit the stereotypical image of depression. You might find yourself getting easily frustrated by things that wouldn't normally bother you. Small inconveniences can feel like major obstacles, and your fuse might be noticeably shorter than usual. You might experience unexpected outbursts of anger, even over minor issues. It's like the emotional pressure cooker inside is set to high, and even the slightest thing can make it blow. It's important to remember that anger is often a secondary emotion, masking deeper feelings of sadness, hurt, or frustration. Depression's impact on sleep. Sleep, that precious time when our bodies and minds can finally rest and recharge. But when depression sets in, even sleep can become a battlefield. Sleep problems are often one of the first noticeable signs of depression. You might find yourself tossing and turning at night, your mind racing with worries and anxieties. Falling asleep can feel like an impossible task, and the minutes can tick by endlessly as you stare at the ceiling. Or maybe you're experiencing the opposite problem, sleeping too much. It might seem counterintuitive, but depression can also lead to hypersomnia, excessive sleeping. You might find yourself sleeping for long hours, yet still waking up feeling exhausted and unrefreshed. The impact of depression on sleep can create a vicious cycle. Poor sleep can worsen depression symptoms, making it even harder to cope with daily life. And the more depressed you feel, the more likely you are to experience sleep disturbances. When depression steals your joy. We often associate depression with intense sadness, but what if the most profound symptom is the absence of feeling altogether? This emotional numbness, also known as apathy, is a lesser known but equally debilitating aspect of depression. Imagine a world where colors seem dull, flavors lose their vibrancy, and even the things you once loved fail to spark any joy. That's the reality for many people struggling with depression related apathy. It's not just a matter of feeling down, it's about feeling nothing at all. You might lose interest in activities you used to enjoy. Hobbies that once brought you passion now feel meaningless. Relationships can suffer as you find it hard to connect with loved ones on an emotional level. Even simple pleasures like a beautiful sunset or a heartwarming movie fail to elicit any emotional response. It's like a part of you has gone dormant, unable to experience the full spectrum of human emotions. When depression makes you want to disappear. Depression has a way of making you feel like you're carrying a heavy weight on your shoulders, one that's invisible to others but feels unbearably real to you. This weight can make you want to withdraw from the world, to isolate yourself from the people who care about you most. It's not that you don't value those connections, it's that depression can convince you that you're better off alone. You might start avoiding social gatherings, making excuses to cancel plans, or simply not answering the phone. Being around other people can feel draining and overwhelming, especially when you're struggling to keep your own emotions in check. You might worry about bringing others down with your mood or fear that they won't understand what you're going through. As you withdraw further into yourself, the isolation can exacerbate your depression symptoms, creating a vicious cycle that's hard to break free from. Have you ever felt stuck, unable to make even the simplest of decisions? This feeling of being paralyzed by choices is a common and often frustrating symptom of depression. Everyday decisions that once seemed effortless can become monumental tasks. You might find yourself overthinking every possible outcome, weighing the pros and cons endlessly, but still unable to commit to a course of action. It's like your brain is caught in a loop of analysis, unable to break free and choose a path forward. This indecisiveness can stem from the cognitive impairments associated with depression, particularly difficulties with concentration, memory, and executive function. The fatigue and low energy levels common in depression can also make it challenging to muster the mental energy required for decision making. Even small decisions like what to wear or what to eat can feel overwhelming. Depression has a sneaky way of creeping into your thoughts and whispering lies about who you are and what you're worth. It can distort your self perception, making you see yourself through a lens of negativity and self criticism. It's like looking in a funhouse mirror where your reflection is twisted and warped, bearing little resemblance to the person you truly are. You might find yourself replaying past mistakes over and over again in your mind, each time amplifying your perceived failures. The weight of guilt can feel crushing, as if you're carrying the burden of every wrong decision you've ever made. It's not just about feeling bad about past actions, it's about internalizing those mistakes and letting them define your sense of self worth. You might start believing that you're inherently flawed, undeserving of love, happiness, or success. Depression doesn't always lead to withdrawal and isolation. Sometimes it can manifest in more outward and potentially harmful ways, driving individuals to engage in risky or self destructive behavior. It's like a desperate attempt to numb the emotional pain, to feel something, anything, other than the crushing weight of depression. You might find yourself engaging in reckless driving, speeding through the streets, ignoring traffic signals, as if you're daring fate to intervene. The thrill of danger can provide a temporary escape from the emotional turmoil within. Substance abuse is another common coping mechanism for those struggling with depression. Alcohol, drugs, or even excessive caffeine can provide a temporary sense of relief, a way to numb the pain or escape from reality. And there you have it. 10 lesser known symptoms of depression that often go unnoticed. Remember, depression is a complex condition and its presentation can vary greatly from person to person. If you recognize yourself or someone you love in any of these symptoms, please know that you're not alone and there is hope for healing. Taking that first step towards seeking help can be daunting, but it's an act of courage and self care. Remember, you deserve to feel better, and there are professionals who are dedicated to helping you find your way back to well being. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.